Basically, Call of Duty Vanguard is a game that I was seriously worried about before its premiere. So it was a game that with every single rumor we heard, every single detail we heard, only one thing is that the game is gonna be shit. Like shit. And I really wanted this game to be good. I was a big fan of the old Call of Duties, Call of Duty 1, 2, World at War, and basically those were my first games, so I really wanted that game to be good because it's a World War II Call of Duty. So basically today we will see if Call of Duty Vanguard is a good game. We will see if Call of Duty Vanguard is a game that was so bad like they announced before its release, or is it a game that is not that bad but still has its flaws. So basically let's just get started. And we're gonna start by a disclaimer. So one of my first games, my very first game ever probably was Call of Duty 2 from 2005. So what I'm gonna ask you is to not send my parents to jail because of it, first of all, and second of all, I want you to know that I have a lot of nostalgia for the older Call of Duty games that happened during the World War II period. So I might be rough with this game, I might be not nice, because what's happening is that World War II game has to be good for me. It's like something incredibly important, and basically I'm thinking that if you manage to do a good game in 2005 about World War II, then you should manage to do a good World War II game in 2021. Without further ado, let's get started. We're gonna start by the first game mode, the game mode that every one of you avoids and jumps into multiplayer. We're gonna talk about the campaign, and the campaign is just well, it's good, but in the same time completely bad. Let me explain. So basically we have two sides of the game. We have the side of the game that is the gameplay one, and basically what happens is that this one is done pretty well because we have nice missions with a few exceptions. We have nice weapons, we have nice objectives to do, there's a lot of fun stuff going on around, and basically from that point of view it's a good game as any other Call of Duty. Basically it's something that is very cool to play through, not something too memorable either, but something that you might come back after a while and it might be cool. But then we have the second side, the side that is the story side, and here we have some problems. So basically creators, developers decided to pop on the meeting like I just did in front of you and decided that we need a story. Well, great, that's absolutely lovely, a story. And I don't know what did they do on this meeting, but probably nothing too much creative, because the story I can resume it to you in 10 seconds. So basically we have 4 super soldiers, or like this special unit of soldiers that are going on a mission to Hamburg on the very first mission, and they need to recover some data about some Project Phoenix, blah 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 blah. So basically at the end of the mission they get captured. Throughout the whole campaign, all those long 6 hours to finish it, they are in this prison, and by the end of the campaign, the very last mission is the mission where they recovered the Project Phoenix that they basically don't even talk about throughout the whole game, like not even once. Alright, maybe they've mentioned it, but if they did, I don't even remember it, and that's the whole plot. The Project Phoenix that we just don't care about, and who is absolutely disappointing by the end of the game because we don't care about it at all. But now our characters are not playing in prison. I mean, we aren't playing them in prison. We are playing them during the war, and thanks to the fact that all those soldiers are from multiple fronts or periods or armies, we can go and jump in multiple, fronts. We can go to France, we can go to Africa, we can go to Stalingrad, and basically that's very cool. And the only question that I'm asking is, why bothering about that Project Phoenix stuff and everything when you have pretty much a good campaign, you have cool characters, and you can just do a few separate little stories like Battlefield 1 did and just be cool about it. But no, they needed to do a story. They needed to do this super special force task unit or something. They just needed to yeah, basically what they just did is creating a story that nobody cares about, that nobody would care about after playing the game, that nobody cared before, and that nobody cares like right now. Like, this story is just useless. I'm just happy about one thing, but because basically what rumors have said before the release is that there's like an alternative ending of the World War II story, that we will have some Wolfenstein stuff, and I was quite worried about that, because, well, my reaction to those rumors was like yeah, pretty much something like that, yeah. But yeah, still, this campaign is not any good. It's like basically something that you just finish it and you forget it. You remember the missions that were good. You remember this atrocity of Battle of Midway that I won't talk very much because it's an absolutely it's a catastrophe. The plane mission, for those who don't know, like and yeah, we have some good moments like the missions in Stalingrad, like the Lady Nightingale mission, which is very cool. So yeah, there is a lot of positives from the gameplay side, but like from the story side, yeah, nothing, absolutely nothing. Once again, useless. Second mode we're gonna jump on multiplayer, and multiplayer is basically MW with World War II skins. So we have a few innovations. We have those destructible surroundings that are pretty cool, and something that is quite realistic because it adds a lot of chaos characteristic to the gameplay. We have like those debris coming on you when someone is shooting through the wall on you, and so it's quite realistic in my opinion, something that I think some soldiers might actually go through on the real front. And then we have the pacing, and we're gonna stop here for a while because pacing is great, but it doesn't work. Basically what we have is pacing. So pacing is great. We have 3 different pacings. We have the tactical one, the assault one, and the blitz one, I guess. And what we have with those is that we have like, tactical is the slow one, assault is the normal one, and the blitz is the chaotic, crazy one. And those are great because many Call of Duty players have different play styles, have different, ways to play the game, and so they can play it exactly as they want to because of those pacings. And like even a map that is very small with a tactical pacing may be still not going so crazy, like for example Shipment 24/7, and it's a phenomenal aspect of the game. The problem is that when we are selecting the game mode and we are choosing the pacing, well, we have that small problem, is that it never selects the pacing that we have chosen. So I did a little bit of testing, and I've selected the assault pacing, which is one of my favorites, my favorite, and I've played 10 games of domination, something like that, and I was on like 3 games that were with assault pacing. Then I played another 10 games without selecting any pacings, and I've played I think 4 times on the assault pacing, something like that. So there's no difference basically, and that sucks. It's really something that you might feel, yeah, that's cool, we can select pacing and everything. So they give you the possibility of changing the pacings, which is phenomenal, and then they don't allow it to work. So basically they give you a choice, but actually they don't give you any choice. And one of the most important things of the multiplayer is of course the guns and the maps. So the maps are alright, but there's nothing incredible here. So we have, you know, those Call of Duties that have at least few maps that are just better than anything else. That was the case with Hockney Yard for MW, in my opinion. That was the case for I can't remember any map of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which means that there wasn't any good out there. But you get the point. You have some maps that are just better than others, and here we don't have that. We just have maps, and we have maps worse than anything that you could possibly live by, and those are just incredibly bad. And Dome probably is the worst one, because Dome and the blitz spacing means sudden death and a lot of suffering. Eventually few controllers get destroyed. And the weapons. We love the weapons, don't we? Well, the weapons are great, but they don't work as well. I mean, they are so unbalanced, as unbalanced they can be. So we have, for example, this first sniper rifle that doesn't kill. It's non-lethal. Like, technically speaking, you can kill somebody, but I killed, I think, 2 people with it, and it doesn't mean I played like one shitty game with it. No. I played 10 with it, and I suffered every single minute of what I was doing with it. Basically what we have is that we have like one weapon that works for a whole, you know, rank of weapons. Sometimes we have none. It's basically so unbalanced. Like, the LMGs are unplayable, the SMGs are almost unplayable as well. Like, the only thing that pretty much works is the assault rifles and 1 or 2 snipers, and that would be it. And that sucks, because basically what was cool about Call of Duty is that, of course, we had some weapons that were overpowered over the others, but still we had a lot of weapons that were playable on different playstyle, like on MW. For example, once again, we have a lot of LMGs, but they were playable, but you needed a different playstyle, you know, to get your kills, but they were lethal. Sniper rifles were absolutely incredible. They were slow, fact, but then they were still incredibly lethal. They just killed, they one-shotted every single time, or almost. So basically, unbalanced is the best word for Call of Duty multiplayer, or the Vanguard multiplayer, should I say. And it's, you know, too bad, because they had like 4 years of development over this game, and I think that we could just accept some better balance in the game. So yeah, it's actually sad. And the last game mode, the very last, and in that case the worst, Call of Duty Zombies. So yeah, basically I have a phone with me, and here are my notes. So you may not see them perfectly, I don't expect you to see them, but what I can tell you, and you can believe me on that one, I was trying so hard to defend this game mode. I was saying that yes, you know, for the veterans it might be bad, but you know, maybe some people might like it and everything. So I tried, but no, it's the worst third mode ever. Call of Duty had never a worst third game mode, like, ever. So basically we know that Sledgehammer never actually was into that, you know, third game mode stuff, you know, like we could see that through the Advanced Warfare, because it had only survival, and MW also had survival, but had also Spec Ops next to it, so it was basically bigger and it was an older game. We had World War II, which had Nazi zombies, and that game mode was not that bad basically, but it had also its flaws, and you had that feeling that the creators actually, you know, gave up on that game mode like the day one. But what they did here, what they did in that game, in Vanguard, is a crime against a whole humanity. Basically what we have is one map, and that map doesn't have doors, doesn't have windows, doesn't have basically anything. You have a pack-a-punch you have the pack-a-punch thing, you know, to upgrade your weapons. You don't even need to do anything to use it, you only have to have money. What happens is that this is just so bad. Like, you have zombies just spawning in front of you. They barely attack you, and if you want to progress through the map, you need to go through portals, and through those portals you do a mission or a challenge, and when you do that challenge, well, you basically you unlock another part of the map, and it's cool. But when you unlock everything, you are still doing your challenges in the portal. You even don't have rounds. I mean, you have those rounds because of the portals, of the challenges. When you do a challenge, you pop around. But basically it's just so bad. Like, honestly, I tried to play it like a few days back because I really wanted to find a single positive about it, but there's none. I could go on and on and on with what isn't good with that game mode, but I have like this time limit, so basically I cannot. And I bet you'd love to see how I despise this game mode, honestly, but you know, I just can't talk about that forever. And what I basically want to do as quickly as possible is to finish reviewing that third game mode. Like, honestly, it's the worst one ever. And there we are. So after this, you might think that Call of Duty Vanguard is a shitty game. You might even think that, what did they do? But I will tell you that this game is absolutely not that bad. So basically what I've said to you on the beginning of that video is that I might be rough. I might be not cool. I might be, you know, just pushing things, you know. But what I will tell you is that it is a game that you can play. You shouldn't pay $70 for it, but after a discount you actually may pay it, and you even may have a lot of fun with it. So what I can tell you right now is, you know, if you find this game after a good discount for a good price, you know, $30 even, just go for it, buy it, and have fun. You can play through the campaign with no problem whatsoever. You can play in the multiplayer for a solid month, even too. And you should not play the zombies if you are a fan of zombies like myself. If you never played the zombies, you can start by this game mode, and it will be probably the worst experience you'll ever have. But thanks to it, every single zombie game mode that you will play next just will be better than this. So, you know, it's a win-win situation for the new guys. So for me, Call of Duty Vanguard is a game that will have a solid 6 out of 10. So it's a game that basically has some good moments, but it's nothing more than a simple, mediocre Call of Duty game that has a lot of flaws, that has a lot of elements that are just, you know, something that I think that the developers didn't overthink too much. And basically, yeah, so 6 out of 10 is a good game. Basically, it's nothing that is incredible. It's not a game that will make your mind blow, but it's not also a game that will make you puke or whatever. So basically what we have is a solid Call of Duty experience that you can, you know, play and have fun with until the next Call of Duty comes out. And hopefully you can buy it for a good price, because like I said, honestly, $70, it's way too much for a game of that level. And before I say goodbye, I just wanted to mention that I played on PS4. So that is it for me. I hope you liked that video. If you liked that video, then you can like it. You can also comment if you want. You can tell me what do you think of the game. You can ask a question. You can basically, you know, just start a conversation and we could talk about it. And if you want to see more reviews, unboxing or reactions or something on this channel, and you like it, you can subscribe and you can, you know, pop in for the next video that will come out probably in a day or two, something like that. I'm reviewing basically everything: video games, movies, TV series, books. So there's a lot of content, you know, there's a lot of TV series, movies and video games, so I had a lot of things to review. And if there's one thing you want me to review especially, then you can drop it down in the comment for me to review it. And that would be it for me. Thanks for popping by and see you around. Bye! Be strong.